Welcome to another edition of All Octaves with me, Val Kleinhans. We have the wonderful Lauren Camp here today. She is a guitarist who posts amazing licks on social media. She's here to share her love of the guitar today. Lauren, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
I know. I thought it would be fun if we started off with a little bit of a game, and you're going to like this one. Fill in the blank. I'll give you a sentence. You just fill in the blank. The guitarist who made me want to pick up a guitar myself is.
Tracy Guns.
I knew it. Hair metal era Tracy Guns, yes, and LA Guns, of course. Ballad of Jane, like that was some of the first. That was my introduction to hair metal, anyway. And I had definitely I still have a hair metal face. There's something about like driving with the windows down with hair metal and like some Warrant or something. She's shaking her head.
I swear, you get it.
There's just something about it. So, what was it about hair metal that resonated with you?
Honestly, I don't know. So my dad is like the biggest hair metal fan, so I just always heard it growing up, and then he started showing me their videos and I just got more familiar with it, and I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to play guitar like them.
Nice. Now, are you self-taught or did you have a teacher?
Yeah, so I a little bit of both. I've always taken lessons kind of on and off, but I also not even just watch YouTube, but just research music theory and this and that. I just always want to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. Any musician, any good musician anyway, would want that for themselves. How old were you when you started to play?
Like 8.
Okay. I started probably at around like 13 with my little ovation that I don't have anymore. I know, it's like my little acoustic ovation that I was so excited to get for like Christmas when I was 13, but I ended up donating it to a local music shop who had, students, and because I don't play as much anymore. But it's amazing how quickly you could pick up the instrument and how easily you can form chords into songs. Did you pick up on that when you first started playing too? Like
Yeah,
3 chords and 1,000 songs, I feel.
no, that's so true.
Yeah. How long do you recall, like at what point did you feel like, hey, I'm pretty good at playing guitar and I want the world to see this?
Honestly, it was like I had this music page for fun and I started like throwing things up and I had like 10 followers. And then one day my guitar teacher was like, "Do you got an Instagram or anything? Like, it wouldn't hurt just to post and just to see what people say and, things like that." And then he was the one that really inspired me that I was like, screw it, I'll just start posting more shit.
Yeah. So the purpose of that was it was for fun, or were you hoping to maybe reach some people or get some recognition for what you were doing, find a band? I don't know.
At first, it was honestly just for fun. I've always wanted to play in a band, but at first I was like, and I really didn't have a reason to start posting. I just guess I wanted to.
Yeah. What was the initial reaction when you first started posting? Was it positive? Was it negative?
A little bit of both. I wasn't very good. I started posting like I took down all my old stuff if I'm being honest, but I started posting like 5 years ago. So at first, I was like younger and didn't have my technique down as well and this and that. But as I started to grow, I mean, I get a lot of positive and negative still, so
Yeah.
about the same.
Nature of the internet. I get it.
Mhm.
You mentioned a technique for the rest of the world that is not a musician, for anybody that's not a musician that's listening. What is a technique? Why is that important to you?
So technique is just essentially I mean, technique can really be anything, like a harmonic or bends, things like that, that kind of the way I would describe it, what makes your guitar playing interesting in your own. So if I use vibrato and this guitarist doesn't, to me that's your technique and what you do to kind of bring your own flavor, I guess, into your guitar playing.
Okay, so like maybe if somebody's a true like gear nerd and they play with a bunch of different pedals to give a bunch of different sounds to their guitar, that might be something that they could attribute to what's called their technique. Is that fair to say?
I guess in a way, yeah.
Okay. So it's whatever gives somebody their sound.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. And other than hair metal, I mean, from the reels that I've seen on Instagram, you have a bit of a blues flavor to what you do. Does the blues resonate with you? How did you get into that?
Honestly, just friends and just I always like whenever I meet people, because I also work at my local guitar center. Whenever I meet people, I always want someone to make me a playlist or send me new music. So like I always have people just sending me new stuff. So I honestly newly started getting into blues just because I was told, it's great for if you want to improv, it's great just to
Mhm.
learn and things like that. So I just kind of started digging into it recently.
Yeah, it's an easy scale to learn too. I mean,
Hmm.
it was one of the first ones that I did when I was playing more so, and it sounds cool. Like you, I don't think anybody can like do a blues lick and have it suck. It sounds cool.
That was the other reason I wanted to learn. I was like, everyone that plays blues is just so good or just so cool.
Yeah, yeah. There's a bit of a flavor to it. So, working at Guitar Center, I'm sure you have some hilarious stories, or you've seen every type of musician walk in and out of that store. Have you ever met somebody that like was really interested in learning more and you felt like maybe happier that you were able to pass your knowledge on to them? And
Yeah,
how were you able to help them?
so I love when the kids come in and I can help them buy their like first guitar. So like
Mm,
basically just explaining to them all the parts, maybe what they're looking for, just things like that. Really just passing the gift of music to someone is really incredible.
yeah. What's your advice, your initial advice to any new guitarist or anybody that wants to pick up the instrument?
Hmm, let's see. Honestly, just do what you love, because if you have fun and you wanna improve and you're playing songs you love and this and that, I don't think there's really any wrong way to go. I try not to take it too serious, but still serious enough to where I'm improving.
Yeah. You took lessons and I know you taught yourself as well. When you first met your teacher, was there anything that you brought to your teacher and was like, this is what I want to learn first?
I think the Dokken in my dream solo, because I could
Yes.
not learn it on my own.
Yeah. And if you're going to learn from anybody, learn from George Lynch. Honestly,
Oh, yeah, he's
not a bad
amazing.
idea. I had that experience, I tried a few teachers and a lot of them wanted to, maybe force isn't the quite right word, but it feels like it makes sense. They wanted to like force their music taste on me and learn, like have me learn like Beatles stuff or whatever that like they were into. And that's fine, but I think that's kind of a flaw that some teachers have. Did you ever experience that, or did you feel like you got to find a teacher that maybe can work with you or some sort of compromise?
I do agree you need to find a teacher that works with you, because my first guitar teacher was kind of like that. And I do appreciate the things I learned from her and like the new music I learned and stuff too. But it's also like if you really want to get good at something or you just want to have fun, I do think finding a teacher for you is the way.
Yeah. Because if they're giving you something that you're not even interested in, you're not going to practice. And then,
Especially when you're young.
yeah, you're like, I don't care about this. This isn't fun for me. I don't want to do it anymore. And then
Exactly.
you never get any better. That was what I kept running into. I kept getting like bored. And then until I started to look up, like, I started to Google my own chord sheets and tab sheets for songs that I knew, songs that I wanted to play, like some Aerosmith stuff or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, this is a little bit more fun now.
Oh,
That
yeah.
that was definitely the secret. Was there ever a point where you were like nervous to play in front of other people or at least post about it online? I don't know. Have you played like in front of people in like a venue?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I'll gig on occasion, but not too much.
Oh, okay. So was there ever any nerves about doing that or even going public online?
Um, so online, I was never too nervous about. I don't know why. I guess because it's like you're not in a room with people. They don't see your mess ups. You can take as many takes as you want. So for me,
Mhm.
there was like some type of comfortability in that. When I first started performing, I was definitely super nervous and I just never felt confident in my playing, or was like, what if I hit the wrong note, or what if I don't like what if I freeze and don't remember what I'm playing? But the more I did it, the more I honestly started to love it.
So it's like a muscle. You have to flex it. You have to keep. Got it.
Oh yeah.
I always like to ask this for somebody. We get this age old question: what's it like to be a girl in a band? Blah 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 blah. We hate that question. It's ridiculous. But I am kind of curious to know if you, as a female, feel like that climate has changed. There was a point where people would be shocked to see like a woman pick up a guitar and they aren't just tuning it, they're like for real playing it. So, do you feel like any of that is still going on, or are we becoming more receptive to female guitarists?
I think yes, but no, because I will on occasion get these sexist comments that are like, talking about my tits or something totally irrelevant. And
Oh
I'm
my
like, hey
God.
man, I'm playing guitar. Like that wasn't my goal of the video. But
Yeah.
then I also have other people that are like, oh my God, it's so cool to see a woman who shreds and like we need more of this. So it's like I'm kind of somewhere in the middle with that.
Yeah. It's a shame that it still happens at all. How do
Hmm.
you how do you process it when you do meet that misogyny?
So at first it would kind of upset me because I'm like, I want people to focus on my guitar playing, not what I'm wearing or whatever. But now I just honestly stopped caring because I'm like, I always think it's either like, oh man, you're jealous, or it's whatever. It's not something that's gonna stop me, I guess I feel like.
Yeah. Do you think being a female has ever equated to you being taken less seriously in
I
music?
I do at
Really?
times. Yeah.
In
Even
what
at
way?
like working at my local guitar center, like I'll have dudes come in who don't want me to sell to them or assume I don't know what I'm talking about. And it's like I've played for 10 years and I'm a gear nerd. I'm into this like fully, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've talked to a bunch of other female musicians on this podcast too, and a lot of them have stories like that. There was one in a band downriver, and April Draven is she fronts it, she sings in it. But like there was a point where they were doing a show at a venue in Utah, which is the home for them, and she was able to like help the sound guy out of some sort of issue because she knew the technology, and he wouldn't even listen to her until a dude parroted what she said. And I was like, oh my God, there's so much of that going on. Why do you think that is?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know why women can't be taken as serious as men. It's like we can be just as knowledgeable. We have all the tools you do. We can research things. I really don't understand it.
Yeah, never got it either. Have you explored other genres than rock side, metal side, or blues side?
Oh yeah. I honestly love country. People always laugh about that. Even pop, I'm trying to think. I really do love everything. Alternative, I listen to everything.
Yeah. Do you think the fact that, you're dealing with the rock world or maybe a bit of a blues world, does that have an impact when it comes to what we were just talking about like females not being taken as seriously? Do you think
I
maybe a female is taken more seriously when it comes to something like country or pop instead, in your experience?
I think so. I think if I was just playing chords and singing, it would be less harsh. I think people assume that women can't shred, so I could be wrong, but that's just kind of my take.
Yeah. How did you build your own confidence in that area to know that like I'm here to shred and this is what I do and I really could give two fucks about what anybody else says.
I honestly think it's about building confidence in yourself. So like I just got more comfortable with who I was and like this is what I do, this is what I love, and it's like no one can really take away what you love cuz I just think if it's what you want to do, like who fucking cares? Like
Yeah.
I keep shredding, man. Whatever.
Period. And the proof is in the pudding. I mean, you are sponsored by a few different companies as well. Walk me through that. Gibson, I think, is on the list. And I was like, what?
Yeah. So I got really lucky with that one. I got in contact with the CEO because he followed me on Instagram. I don't even know how he found me. And
Wow.
so that's how that happened. Pariah hit me up and wanted to send me pickups. So as soon as I got them, I was like, I love these. Like, any chance you want me to be an artist for you and rep your brand? And then GHS, I got in contact with, I think I found their email on Instagram or something, was like, hey, same thing, like, any chance I could be an artist for you and rep your brand?
Yeah. What are the innards of a sponsorship like? Like, what are some of the responsibilities? Like, for non-musicians who have no clue, or anybody that might be any musician that might not have one and want to be interested in getting one. What's it really like to have a sponsorship, and what did it take to get it?
Um, so what it's like to have it, it's essentially just repping their brand in obviously a smart, respectful way. You don't want to post anything bad or, whatever.
Yeah.
And just always using their products, promoting them, making sure everyone knows, like, hey, this is my Gibson guitar, you know what I'm saying? And then, and what's it like getting those or having those, you
Hmm.
asked?
Hmm.
Um, I mean, really, I guess just a lot of hard work, but I would say honestly, it's a lot about putting yourself out there too. If you don't put yourself out there and,
Yeah.
reach out to these companies or just have the confidence to think like, hey, I am good enough for this, I think it's much harder to get it. I think it really is, putting
Yeah.
yourself out there.
Because it seems from what you described a little bit, like it seemed like one fell into your lap and another you actively pursued, and it happened. Ta-da.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty incredible. I admire that a lot. Um, when it comes to sponsorships, is there like an element of exclusivity to that? Like, you can't use any other brand while you're working with them, or
Essentially, yeah, it's kind of in the
okay.
contract. Like, if you are like for GHS, let's say I'm using Ernie ball strings, technically I could be dropped. But I mean, those were like what I'm sponsored by are the products I love, so I just got really lucky. I was already using those things.
Oh, okay. What are the perks? Like, just free product?
It really depends, free products, a discount. I
Okay.
know some of these companies will promote you too, like, hey, if you want to post, like, we can throw up a post for you.
Oh, cool. Okay. Is that you have a following online, a significant following online for anybody that doesn't know already? How did you grow that? Was it with the help of sponsorships, or just you doing your thing and showing yourself?
Mainly me just doing my thing. I started consistently posting and just kind of, like I said, putting yourself out there and really just trying to see who could repost me, just little things like that. Anything that can help, you gain that.
Yeah. And primarily you're a solo artist. Would you want to be part of a band? Have you thought about being part of a band?
That's always been my dream. That was kind of part of the reason I started posting too, because I know nowadays a lot of things are done online and that's where people find their guitars.
Yeah. If you were going to be in a band, who would you want to be a part of?
If I was going to be like, what do you mean by
Like,
that?
if you had like your dream pick of any band that's active today that you could be part of, who would you be
I would,
part of?
I would definitely say the rumors.
I love
They're
Carly.
so bad.
I love Carly. I talked to her a couple months ago, and she's seriously so sweet. And she lives and breathes the shit. Like, she really does.
Oh, you can tell. They
Yeah,
rock.
you can tell. I love that. The rumors, if for anybody listening that has no idea, go back and listen to that episode. Like, they're worth it. They're worth the investigation. Uh, I also wondered what's next for you. What are you looking forward to? What are you excited about?
Definitely still posting, trying to get some band stuff going, and I kind of want to do a solo project. I do sing a little bit, so I kind of want to get some of my own music out there because I have the platform and the following. So I'm like, I
Yeah.
think it's time to put something out there.
Yeah. Would you want to do that entirely yourself, or are you open to like collabs, working with other people?
I think definitely open to working with other people. I'm still trying to figure out, exactly what my solo project would be because I do write songs all the time. So it's just like
Hmm.
just trying to figure out which way to go.
What do you usually write about?
Hmm. I mean, really anything. Just personal things, I guess the like typical girl thing where you write about getting your heart broken or shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Happens to all of us.
Mhm.
Happens to
Unfortunately.
all of us. We all can relate. Oh my God, you have a hydro jug too. I just saw that. She has the black studded one. I have, oh, damn it, because it's a virtual
Oh, I
background.
love that.
Wait a
That's so
minute.
awesome.
Hold on. If I can turn off the virtual background, I think you can see it. Wait. Uh, okay. Blur my background? Does it show?
Oh, I love that. Oh, I
Kind of.
can see that.
Yeah, there it is.
That's hilarious.
It's the tan version, but it's the studded one too, because I just love the aesthetic and I completely understand why you do too.
Mhm.
Yours is cooler though because it's black. I'm jealous. I gotta find a version. But well, Lauren, I so appreciate your time. Thank you so much for chatting music with me. Is there anything else you want the world to know? Anything that maybe we haven't talked about already?
Shoot, I don't think so. I think we covered everything.
Okay, so more to come from you. Follow you on the socials. That's where it's going to be.
Yep.
Sweet. All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.